our chat.
Our chat.
Okay. Talk about your brilliant topic, because it's important.
We were just sitting here talking and thinking, we've seen quite a few videos of people after the fact, but have we seen anybody actually going through what we're going through right now, which is the part where we start figuring out what to do with all our stuff, how many bins we're going to need, how many we don't need, how are we going to move them, how are we going to try and get rid of the stuff that we are emotionally attached to, or have some other reason that I'll need this someday, maybe.
So in case you're just now following us or just tuning in for the very first time, because we're pretty new to this, Gary is talking about our move to Panama. We have been preparing for a move to Panama since last September.
Yeah.
Preparing.
At least that long.
Yes. Yeah. Roughly. So, and we are now to the point where our house is on the market. We've received an offer. We've gone through the inspection and appraisal. We close in 4 weeks. Our house is basically empty now, and we're now out in the RV trying to relax and have a glass of wine and decompress. Congratulations to us.
Yeah.
But in this whole time, we've been downsizing and moving into bins. And the last couple weeks has been a little bit traumatic because we've been trying to downsize those bins even further. And today it was pretty significant and a little bit emotional, I would say, because we're trying to sift through 20, 30 years of very sentimental things that we didn't want to give up. And we have to decide, is this going or is this staying with us?
Yeah, the whole looking at something that you've held on to for nearly your whole life, especially me, like 40 years, and going, I don't use this, but I've always had it. So, why do I need it? It's going to be awful hard to throw it away just because you kind of get emotionally attached to things, tools, things like that for me. Yeah, I'm sure you've all heard people trying to drag all their tools to Panama, but we're not doing that. So.
Yes, and then the other thing that we're coming across is we're posting a lot of our belongings on Facebook Marketplace, like a lot of people are when they're downsizing. So we're posting things, and we're already posting them, beautiful things, really good condition, already marked down incredibly cheap, and people come back and just lowball the hell out of us.
You're going to get your feelings hurt when you
are
find
definitely
out what other people think your stuff is worth.
Exactly. And it's hard because this is stuff that you have emotional attachments to. This is stuff that you don't really want to let go of. And then somebody comes and offers you $40 for something you paid $500 for. It's not easy. And Gary's right. Nobody talks about how challenging it is to downsize your stuff. But I will say, it is just stuff. And it's been a really big lesson learned for us as we've been going through this process. And we are learning a couple things. And one of those is what really matters. What really matters to us. So we're keeping those things that are the most special. We've given, of course, a lot of things to our kids. We've given a lot of things to our friends. We've donated some stuff. But we're really learning what really matters. And we're trying to get everything we own in this 24-foot RV that we are going to start recording for you, because in just a few weeks we take it on its first trip after we close on the sale of this house. We take it on its first trip to our first stop on our journey, which is going to be in Richland, Washington. So you can follow along and we'll record that. But we're going to be traveling the United States until October, all over the place before we actually leave the country. So I hope you want to follow our journey as we progress along on this big quest of ours for some adventure and for retirement. And we're ready for a change.
Yeah.
We really are. Gary, you retired, what, year and a half ago?
A year and a half ago. Picked up a couple small jobs, but they weren't career jobs, so they're gone. So I really haven't been working for.
Yeah. And I'm ready to retire. I'm tired. I'm tired of working. I'm tired of working just to pay a mortgage. We paid off all our debts. The only thing holding us back now is this house that we're in, and it's almost over. So we're going to be vagabonds for a little bit here.
Yeah, so yeah, we're riding that roller coaster now between the home inspection and making sure that everything's fine and that the buyer is not going to back out because of something they don't like on the home inspection. And then you get the appraisal where the guy comes in and decides whether your house is worth the money that the loan people want to give them. And so we're riding that right now too. So that's always fun. On top of everything that we're doing as far as trying to get rid of our last house possibly for quite a long time so that we can go somewhere else.
So advice for our 13 subscribers. And an alarm.
And an alarm. My advice is start early with sorting through the emotional baggage of your baggage, because you have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff that my mom made, handmade for us, cross-stitched and stuff. And we've managed to weed it down to where we're still keeping most of the stuff that I'm emotionally attached to. As far as that, luckily she did stuff that was small and easy to carry. So that's the main thing. And pet thing too. It's like if I had a crystal ball, I wouldn't have stocked up on all the cats and dogs that we have right now. So
Speaking of pets, just while we got you, let's see if I can flip this around. There's a couple of those babies right now. That's Dexter right there. Dexter, this beautiful white one, is being adopted by my sister. She's going to take him. Even though it's super hard to say goodbye to a couple of our babies, this is another fact of life of when you want to leave the country, you sometimes have to make some tough decisions. And so we have some family taking on a couple of our pets for us. And this is Dex. He's going to go to my sister. Up above is Indigo, our Maine Coon. So there's a couple of our babies right here. And we're enjoying our time with Dex while we can. There's Nemo. Hi, Nemo. So some of our babies. But yeah, it's super easy, but we are working on it. Advice is just to stick with it. So if this is something that you guys want to do, if you want to change your life, you're going to be making some tough decisions, and they're going to be pretty emotional. We had some emotion and maybe even a few tears the last couple weeks going through some things. But ultimately, it's worth it if you guys want a better life for yourself and a better quality of life for yourself. So,
yeah, we'll go a little more in depth later on why it's still worth it, even with the stuff that we're doing right now. It's still worth it to us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being with my best friend every day, not having to work.
That's me, right? Okay.
Yeah. So, it's just, I'm ready for a change in my life, and we're looking forward to this next adventure. Thank you for following along with us. I know there's only 13 of you, but you matter to us. So we're going to keep posting slowly in the beginning, and we'll get better with our technology. We're new to this, so bear with us, but stick along for the ride. We'll see you soon. Ciao, Bella.
Ciao, Bella.